going on, everybody? Gonna do something a little bit different. Gonna do my weekly analysis, but this is in our Discord, so kind of a live session as well. Um, just going back, I haven't been able to share my thoughts with everyone as I've been doing this. Just been real busy, so I'll just take it back real quick. We had our area that we range created from COVID into discount. This swing high right here, we rebalanced that area, created a breakaway gap, and that was the range we've been in for the past couple months. Okay, so here's our breakaway gap. Price came back down, rebalanced this whole area. So created a range, rebalanced on itself on the way down. We see candle bodies close in that volume imbalance, creating the range. This was also an order block, and this order block was confirmed with the low being ran out by this next candle, and then price expanding away. So that was a confirmed order block. Daily order block, price comes back down into it. Here's the leg back down into liquidity. And so this is what I'm using for my projection fib. And then we've been in this steady uptrend with no real retracements. That being because as this range is balanced, price is moving to the next range. So it doesn't need to hang around, and that's why we have that quick move up. And you can see the order blocks set along the way that are all confirmed. Order block, low gets ran out, moves away. Price is in a hurry, doesn't come quite back down into this order block, but attempts to get back down here and then moves away again. Our November area of consolidation, we have a fair value gap created on the daily, and as we expect the high of this range to be taken out, and we'll see this on the weekly as a breakaway gap. That's why we have the distribution reaccumulation right below the high. So what comes after consolidation periods, which are just distribution reaccumulation, is expansion. And so then we see the expansion. So I was expecting bullish price action coming out of here and to have this similar pattern moving up towards our draws on liquidity. So what I'm targeting next is going to be right here at pretty much one box of this run, which is our 2 standard deviation. So it's actually a 1 standard deviation up, but it's our 2 marker. And that's in that right around CE of that weekly fair value gap. So then just looking at price action um, as we've been moving up, here's our breakaway gap. Okay, we had a daily fair value gap that we drove through. Okay, we want to see it hold price. And so on this day, we had price come back down and hit CE of that daily fair value gap. That became inverted and then move up. We get price run back down into here below the candle body low and then run the high. Was hoping to see a little more expansion on this day, and it closed above here. We didn't get that, which is okay. And so now I'm expecting, I would like to see Monday's candle dip back down into here and use this as a order block again, touching this candle body and then expand up. And so I have a couple targets that I'm looking at. It's going to be this daily weekly swing high at the 169.45 level. And we also have two sitting right about the CE like we mentioned. And that's going to be at basically the 17,000 level, just into that. So before we go down to the lower time frame, we'll just take a peek at the weekly. Just as the daily, we expected a breakaway gap right here. Here we have a weekly swing high where we're leaving a previous range. So I expect this week to act as a breakaway gap, which means I expect some sort of retracement down in here, and then the next week to expand further up. Okay, so if we're looking at targets for weekly expansion, just going to mark out a few things here. I'm going to look at this weekly order block that we had price respect back in 01. So we can target CE of that. However, because we had so much candle bodies that held that CE, and with the Feds talking about cutting interest rates over 2024 and J Powell being dovish, we still have Dixie moving down from inflation, and so indices are going to continue to move up. That's where everyone's going to put their money in, and I think we're going to see a breakout of all-time highs. So I wouldn't be surprised if we continue to move through this, and so we have our weekly areas of liquidity that we can target and mark those out. So if we just look at the daily based off that weekly order block, we have swing high, failure swing. The CE of the weekly matches the CE of this bullish order block. So we either see price action give a get up here and then kind of give a reaction to it, and then maybe have a little bit of a retracement and then power through, or we're just going to see price run all these highs because they're pretty. This is all pretty combined into a small price area of about 200 points. So then we'll just look at what this looks like on the lower time frames and go down to the hourly. So here's that daily candle body highlighted that I'd like to see price come back into. It doesn't have to come back into. That's just what I'd like to see. So I'm not going to put everything on it that it's going to come back in here. But if it does, this is where I'd be looking to take longs again. So just with the way price is so bullish, not playing retracements, but anytime we have a retracement, I'm looking to go long. So we do have these equal lows right here. We do have a little bit of an imbalance on the hourly. And so we could see price wick down and come through this candle body, possibly go into here. Or because this is sitting just right below equilibrium of that candle body, I could see these equal lows possibly getting ran out and another just stab into this hourly order block. So that's kind of the confluence. So if we see any sort of retracement down here, looking to go long out of here. I almost thought we might get a move back down into here just because there's so much of an imbalance left, and we'd see like actual hourly candle bodies close, and I thought that this would have continued. and we could still get that. It could be a Tuesday low down here. Not going to rule that out, but I don't see that happening right now anymore. I think maybe this gets used when we have a little bit of a retracement after taking out some higher time frame points of interest. So what the hourly is showing me right now is that we're holding this order block. Again, the low got ran out and then price moved away. And then we can see prices come back down into it and expanded out of it. We took out these equal highs, but we didn't um, expand through them. So again, that's showing that price isn't ready to move up to the higher time frame targets. Probably see a run on some sort of buy side liquidity up here, then a sell side run, and then the continuation of the buy side price action. Just check out the 15-minute for any confluence. So 15-minute, a little not as clean of price action as I'd like around this area. Some imbalance left, a little bit imbalances left in here. Up here, as far as imbalances, we still need some green candles to fill in this area. But as far as everything from here down, um, this is all balanced in the upper range of this area. So we could see some sell side, and that's what I'm expecting, a buy side run, then back to sell side. How deep we get, we'll just have to watch price action. So that's why we have those levels marked out. But our imbalances are going to be below us. And we saw that on the hourly as well. So and so here's our 5-minute order block. Run on liquidity. And then moves higher, closes above that, comes back down into it, and then we see the runs back down in under those equal lows that were right there. So this just balanced itself on the 5-minute. 15-minute has a little more balancing to do, as that's a wick. So same narrative as last week. Bullish price action. Uh, any sort of retracements, we're looking to go long. Here's our red folder news. So overnight, we could see some movement Monday, Tuesday, because Japan has their monetary policy, and the Central Bank of Japan has their press conference. So they're going to talk about what they're doing as far as their rates go and all that. Wednesday CPI for Great Britain. It's going to help with the overnight session range. And then consumer confidence, gross domestic product quarter over quarter, unemployment claims, and the core PCE. So nothing too crazy, but we'll probably get a series of probably go back down into that order block and then just get a series of maybe smaller up close candles. So another fact that this didn't close above here or close much higher um, is kind of giving me the feeling that we just had this large price action where we had big up close candles. I think we're going to start seeing something about like this size and just kind of maybe a little more overlap. So it's going to kind of balance itself on the way up, and maybe one of the days that we get a little bit more expansion above some of these higher time frame points of interest. So profit taking, what I'm looking for is I'm looking for basic targets, overnight session range. If we're running the low of the overnight session, then I'm looking to get in and take 80% of the profits at the overnight session highs or any kind of equal highs that are put in along the way. I'm not going to be hunting, especially once we get above into here. We could see some consolidating again. So not a big range to work within. What do we got? 16,800 about. Yeah. And then to 1700. And possibly close this weekly fair value gap. So we're looking at 400 points. So that's going to be the biggest thing I think for this week. We're going into holidays. Um, so I want to make sure that my targets aren't too outrageous. Other than that, I think I could be wrong. We could expand to all-time highs, hit this 2.5 mark. This was what, 800 point move out of the consolidation. So if we come back down here, 67 to 75, that's right around there if we get another continuation of that move. But longs are still the play. Other than that, I think everything's um, pretty clear. We got pretty good structure. Hourly is going to continue to be the guide for me as well. Looking at the daily structure and then looking how the hourly candles form around that. Um, so just mark out your pertinent hourly points of interest. Set alerts for them if you need to. Sometimes I'll do that. Like I'll use this order block and just go right on top of that. And we can set an alert. Crossing every time. Boom. There we go. Go long. What do we have right here? 1800. Man, price is moving. Yeah, this could be safe for later. We'll see what the overnight session brings us and what liquidity gets attacked, and see what kind of plays we get in the morning. Other than that, that's my outlook for the week. And I think we should have another good week of trading.